everyone, it's Allison. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to one of my favorite videos that I have made. And that is because I got to make some Harry Potter cards and even a tag using the Spellbinders monthly club kits for March 2024. So here are the 3 projects that I made for this video, and I'm just so in love with them. We're going to jump in and look at the small die of the month. This is again for March of 2024, and it's called Wise Owl. And for all 3 of my projects today, I am making this owl into Hedwig from the Harry Potter books. So you'll see there's just a lot of pieces for the owl. Now this piece makes a scarf that I'll use in my last card. And there's some books over to the right that I don't use for my projects today. Now for the owl, there's these little holes on his belly, and I just cut a scrap of paper. Now because I am making all of my owls into Hedwig today, Hedwig is a snowy white owl, I am using white cardstock for the main part of the owl, and then I have an off-white color that I'm using as just an accent piece. So these wings have little indentations that show you where to glue them to the owl. This wing goes on the back. And all of these pieces are just so easy to put together. There's indentations on the owl itself that are created when you die cut it. And those indentations just show you where to put like these little eyebrows, and I think the cheeks are going to go on next. Now I left my cheeks this off-white color. I didn't color any of my cheeks pink today. I wasn't really going for cutesy. I was just really going for Hedwig. So I find, and obviously the glasses are Harry Potter glasses, but it really gives the reference to Harry Potter that I think it needs. So I find it easier to glue the glasses on first, because if you glue the eyes on first and they're not exactly placed correctly, the glasses don't look as good, or may not go on as well. So for the eyes themselves, there's 2 pieces. There's a solid white piece and then this little cutout piece. And I cut out that piece in black, and now I'm just inlaying some little white dots. I cut it out in white as well. And these little bottom pieces, I am just coloring a yellow color. I use fossilized amber to do that. And now I'm just gluing in the eyes. See how it's just easier to glue the eyes in after the glasses are already placed. And these wings, there's 2 pieces, and again there's a little indentation to show you where to connect those 2 pieces. And now I'm gonna glue the little feet. Now you could cut all of this out in white and then color all your little pieces. I have so many little scraps of colored cardstock though, so I tend to just cut my tiny little die cut pieces out of colored cardstock. Now for the beak, I put a little tiny sliver of foam tape on it because I want to put this letter right under his beak like he's holding it in his she. I don't know why I always say he. She, Hedwig is a she. She is going to be holding the letter, the little Hogwarts letter. So I put a little piece of very thin foam tape on the letter just to give it a little dimension so it would stand out from the white body. And I can attach the little wing. So I should have mentioned this at the beginning. I am a huge Harry Potter fan. And this paper has been in my drawer for years. This is just some Harry Potter inspired scrapbook paper that I bought several years ago. I don't know where from, but I do have a link below. They have it on scrapbook.com. So I cut a tag out of one of those pieces, and these reverse magical wishes sentiment strips from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to use these on all of my projects today. I love these. You've probably seen me use these before. They have so many different sentiment strips and I use them all the time. So here you can see I put the strips on the tag and I put some black and white string and I just think it's adorable. All right, here is the next project. This is a huge card and I used the envelope of wonder to create an envelope because I thought it would go cute with the theme of Hedwig and all the owls bringing letters in the Harry Potter books. So I just cut out the main parts of the envelope from that envelope of wonder set. And you can see the side piece. You just score it on the line that the die creates, and then you can put either liquid glue or I like to use score tape along that little flap, and then that connects to the back of the main part of the envelope. And I used, again, you can see I used some of that Harry Potter inspired scrapbook paper from my stash for the main envelope because it's going to look like an envelope liner. So now I'm just attaching the bottom piece the same way. You just put score tape along that tab and then connect it to the back. Now I used some pretty heavy white cardstock for some reason for this. I'm going to take some thinner score tape, really thin score tape just along this flap, and that will connect the bottom flap to the side flaps of the envelope, and it will leave the rest of the envelope open. I am going to tuck the owl inside, so that way the envelope still is open. Now to make the envelope a little more stable, I'm just attaching a piece of white paper that I had cut out to the back. Because at first I was just going to use this as a card. It was just going to be the envelope. And I was going to maybe stamp something on the back of the envelope. Now you'll see I put a little bit of foam tape on the back of Hedwig. So she's popping out of this envelope. And you'll see I put her eyes on first on this card. I don't know why. Now this broom, this is from the Boo-licious Fall Cupcake. And if you're familiar with clubs, this was actually part of a large Die of the Month kit from last year. And it's still available on the website. I have a link below, but that's where I got the broom. And I'm putting a teeny sliver of foam tape on the very top of the broom. That's going to just help things sit level. And I'll put glue on the other side and then attach this. The wing is not attached yet. I really wanted to get the broom placed first. And now I have a little sliver of thin foam tape on the back of that wing, and I can attach that. Now you'll see I added some eyes for this card. They're green for this card, and now I'm adding the glasses, and thankfully I added the eyes pretty okay on this to where when I added the glasses it looks okay. But again, I think adding the glasses first is easier. Now, did you know that Spellbinders has Paper Rose papers now? This is one of the paper packs. This is the fine print. And this is a 6x6 pack. I think they also have a 12x12 pack. And I just thought some of these would be perfect for Harry Potter themed cards. So I picked this piece, but I thought it would look better if I aged it or made it look aged. So I'm coming in with some Wild Honey Distress ink, and I'm just inking up the edges of it. And you'll see in a minute when I put the little envelope back on here, it just makes such a difference. It really warmed things up and made it look aged. And you'll see on the envelope, the Wishing You Everything Magical. Again, I use that Simon Says Stamp sentiment strips. Now look at that. Doesn't that look like a cute little wax seal? That's part of the die set. And I'm putting that on my little envelope. And you'll see I have 3 little envelopes. And I added some stars. These are just black, tiny little stars for my stash. I think I put them on every project today. And I just think that's so cute. Here is the last card. This is a Slimline card. And we're going to use the large die of the month. This is called Classic Tales. And you'll see on the right-hand side, there's a little house and some trees. And then on the left are the books. And obviously I use the books for this card. I will use that little house and trees later on in the month. So hopefully I'll have a video for that. So the books are really easy to put together. There's a main solid piece and you cut out the back of the book. And then you use both dies together to cut out the front, the cutout piece. And so there's another book. Now, this is the open book piece, and I cut it out of white, so it looks like an open book. And I just traced it onto some gray cardstock, and I'm going to just fussy cut that out and glue it to the back of the white piece. Now, there's these little slits in the white piece, and the gray in back of it it makes the pages stand out more. You can see the lines of the pages more. And then you just put the little green piece on top. All right, here's another new thing. Like I said, they have new paper on Spellbinders. This is new 80-pound paper. If you're familiar with Spellbinders, they have beautiful, gorgeous 100-pound paper. So this is a new paper pack that's 80 pound. And I'm going to pull some kind of the more muted colors from this pack. And then I'll supplement some other colors from my stash. I really wanted to go with muted colors for my books. And if you're a Harry Potter fan, you will appreciate the fact that I have 7 books on this card. And I have all the sets of the books. Like I have the hardcover books, I have soft cover books, I have the huge new illustrated books. Like I said, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I've read the books so many times. All right, so here you see me kind of doing a little bit of die cut inlay for these little pieces on this particular book. Okay, I have cut a piece of cardstock. It's not quite 4x9, and I cut it with my decal trimmer, which this is one of the first times I've used it. I love it. And again, I'm aging this piece of paper. This is just a cream colored piece of cardstock. And I used antique linen at first, and now I'm coming in with vintage photo. But I need to make this into a card base. So I have another piece of paper that I've cut slightly smaller than the decal trimmed one. And I'm just going to score it. I'm scoring it about 5/8 using one of my little stylus tools. And then I'll score that, or I'll reinforce that score. And then I'm going to put some score tape along this hinge. This is basically a hinge that I'm creating. And this is going to connect to that card front to create a card base. And again, I cut it smaller so that the decal trim wouldn't be disturbed by the back. Like you won't see the back, but it opens really nicely. Now I should have stamped my inside greeting before I attached those two, but I'm going to work with it. This is the Scripty Bday stamp set from Mama Elephant. This is one of my favorites. I've used this particular stamp so many times before. Have a magical Bday. And I was able to put the whole card into my Misty and make it work. Now for my books, I have put a little strip of foam tape on the back of each book, and now I'm just going to stack them. It's pretty thin foam tape, but I like how the books are lifted off of the card panel. And I'm just going in order from the bottom to make sure everything's nice and straight. And my owl, little Hedwig, is on foam tape, and you'll see she has her little Gryffindor scarf on for this card. And again, I'm gluing down more stars, and I attached some more of those little sentiment strips from Simon Says Stamp, and I just adore this card. This is going to go to my son for his birthday while he's at camp, because he loves Harry Potter as well. And I hope you had fun watching this. I think I was rambling about Harry Potter half the time, which is fine. If you're a Harry Potter fan, I hope you appreciate these cards. If you're not a Harry Potter fan, I forgive you. No, I'm kidding. I hope you at least found the video enjoyable, and maybe it'll give you some inspiration for this month's kit. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.